Hi, everybody. It's Miss Honeybee here on Wise Choices Wednesday. Do you hear that sound? That is my next door neighbor's dog. That dog is a wonderful dog named Lucky. And Lucky loves to bark at cars that go by, or at people, or at leaves, or at bees. Lucky is a big, barky dog. And sometimes when I'm sitting out in my outdoor garden, I will just listen for Lucky's bark. It helps me remember that Lucky is there and that Lucky's having the time of his life in this spring day. You know, you and I probably have different outdoor spaces, but you, if you listen very closely, probably have your own outdoor sounds like Lucky. Maybe it's a dog barking. Maybe it's your own dog barking. Maybe it's your neighbor mowing the lawn. Maybe you live in an apartment, and when you sit out on your patio, you can hear cars going by or planes in the sky. Let's take a moment and a big deep breath to listen to all the noises that go on in our neighborhoods. Are you ready? I'm going to be quiet, and you're going to listen in your end and on my end to see all the noises that we hear. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Can you name all the noises that you heard? Maybe it was a car going by. Maybe it was someone that you live with talking or typing. Maybe they're sitting right next to you as we learn at home. Today, we're going to talk about all the things we hear and see in a storm. Do you know what a storm is? A storm is when we have precipitation or weather outside, right? So you could maybe think of a rainstorm or a thunderstorm or a lightning storm. When we think of the word storm, it can make us feel all kinds of feelings. When we think of the sounds we hear in a storm, maybe the things we see, like rain coming down in a storm, it can make us think all kinds of thoughts. And with those thoughts might also come some feelings. Well, those storm feelings you have in your body, let's take a minute to think about those. Imagining a storm all around us. Maybe it's a big thunderstorm you're imagining. And you can hear the lightning and the whoosh, 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 whoosh of the wind. Maybe you can even imagine in your mind the rain coming down. If you've ever been in a storm that was a scary storms can make our bodies feel different ways. Like, for example, sometimes in a scary storm, when I hear a lightning strike, it makes my body do this. And it gets kind of scary in here. And I think about that lightning and it makes me go, woo, I don't like it. Sometimes, if you remember, we had one time in Wiley and in Saxe, we had a hailstorm. And if you remember that hailstorm, you remember that that time was also really scary for a lot of us. Well, we are kind of in a storm right now. I mean, sure, it's nice and beautiful and sunny outside, but there's a little bit of something that's going on in our world that feels kind of scary, like a storm. Do you feel that? Maybe the same feelings you have in your body during a storm are feelings you felt in your body while we've been doing some at-home learning because of this COVID-19. It's interesting, isn't it? How our body can sometimes respond the same in a storm and during this time where it looks perfectly beautifully outside, but we know that there's a kind of a sickness going around that we don't want to catch. When we feel like we're in a storm, there's one thing I like to think and do. Are you ready? The first thing I like to think and do is take a big deep breath and look around me and think, am I safe? Am I safe? If the answer is yes, I can take a big deep breath and remember that I'm in a safe place. Maybe it's a safe house or a safe apartment or a safe trailer. But wherever I am, or even a safe car, wherever I am, I'm safe. So I can take a big deep breath and I can think, I'm safe. If I'm not safe, then I need to get some of my adult friends that can help me, like my teacher. Maybe I send her a message, or someone that is a safe person in my family. Now, if we're safe in our houses, then the second thing I like to think is, whoo, I'm safe. And number two, I'm not alone. Because being safe together is the most important way to be safe. So let's take a moment to look around you. Who's with you today on this beautiful bee buzzy day? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it a brother or a sister or an aunt or a cousin or a pet? Who's with you? So you're safe and you're together. And those are two ways that we can weather any storm. Today, our friends at Go Noodle are going to do an activity that helps us remember that we are weathering a storm. But before we do, I want to give you a tongue twister. Have you ever heard of a tongue twister? A tongue twister is something that's really hard to say, and it's really even hard to say super, super fast. Are you ready? And this is something that I like to I like to remember anytime I'm feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm in a storm, or oh my goodness, I'm stuck in my house. Number one, I am safe. Whew. Number two, I'm not alone. We're together. So here's a little tongue twister for you. Let's see if you can say it with me. Whether the weather be cold. Now it's your turn, you say it. Whether the weather be hot. We'll be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Isn't that so funny? Sometimes we like to be together, and sometimes we feel like we're stuck in our house, and we need to remember that, oh, we're so lucky to be together. I like to do this little thing anytime I'm feeling like, oh, I'm getting really scared, or oh, I'm feeling like I need to remember how grateful I am we're together. Okay, I hope that today's Wise Choices Wednesday helps you remember the wise choice of being safe in your home, staying there because we're all staying home to stay safe, and staying together as we weather this interesting storm. Have a great Wise Wednesday.